we're going to start this evening off with a man born and bred here, amazing storyteller, great man. He works at Lestats, but you might have seen him here talking about everything under the sun. Please welcome Nick Garland, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, guys, so I'm going to let you in on a little kind of like kernel of knowledge. A lot of my family, myself included, we're a little unconventional. Just to kind of give you an idea of what I mean by that, like I was 8 years old and my mom decided to set me and my brother and sister down in the living room and explain to us that my mom was gay. But she said this in a way that would, seem somewhat like more on par with like an 8-year-old's kind of grasp of reality. So she's just like, Mommy likes girls. I'm like, girls are gross. Magneto doesn't give a shit about girls. And I can go back out in the yard and play with my X-Men action figures, please. And so like, even though like my mom told me that, it really didn't mean much to me because like I didn't know what the hell a lesbian was. And in addition to that, my mom and my dad, they divorced, and my mom's best friend Harry Heimowitz, quite obviously Jewish, he helped raise us, and like in a way for like my mom to have like us relate a little better to Harry, we'd have Harry come down from Glendale, and he would spend Hanukkah with us. Still also celebrated Christmas with my dad, so it was double presents. So I was like bonus, like some sweet candles, and eat potato latkes. So let's kind of again take it like 2 years. After that, I was 10 years old. It was fourth night of Hanukkah. And like every kid, regardless of whatever gift-giving holiday it may be, they want to go out and find what present that they had before they open it. Because like, I don't need surprises. I just want to know if I got that sweet chemistry set that I've been looking around for. And I wind up waiting until my mom goes out and, like sneak up into her room like a little stealth ninja. And start looking in every possible place that you cannot hide a 10-year-old's birthday present. I'm looking in her jewelry box, in her medicine cabinet, like in her sock drawer. I'm like, never once actually thinking like, oh, the closet, like, like where like the first place everyone else would look, I was 10, so, like, cut me a break. And then I have like a light bulb go off in my head. I'm like, I know where it is. It's between her mattress and box spring. So I kind of crouched down there, reached I already had little T-Rex arms, but they were extra short back then. I hit paper. I'm like, jackpot, I found you, Mom, busted. So I pull out like what I grabbed, and it was like a magazine. There were like ladies on it. I'm like, this is the lamest present ever. Like, I don't care about girls, and I don't, sure as hell don't want to read a magazine. But there's like pictures in it. There's like 2 women, and they're like on a boat filleting a fish, and the irony of this wouldn't have hit me until much later. Even better, there's like columns of like a huge in-depth story, like which, when I got into a teenager and realized what like, straight male pornography was, like there wasn't a story, it was just pictures, bam, like have at it. So I'm like going through there, and like not being a sexually realized, youth, being 10, I'm just like, weird. 2 girls like holding like the other one, the taller one is right behind like the shorter one, guiding her arms as she fillets this fish, kind of like Patrick Swayze guiding like Demi Moore's like arms. I shit you not, it's just like that. I'm like, so like just with like a snort of derision, I'm like, this is so lame. Like throw it back and like just upset little 10-year-old and like this present sucks. And like later that night, I got that chemistry set. I'm like, well, that wasn't what I found. Next morning, my mom sits everybody down, saying, all right, with the crumpled, creased up magazine now because it'd been deformed, say, who went and looked at Mommy's magazine? I'm like, oh, I did. She's like, why? I'm like, I was looking for presents. Oh, shit. Like, I was like, I just outed myself. Like, so lame. So she's like, well, why did you, why'd you look at it? I'm like, well, why did you hide it? Like, all the other magazines are right there conveniently on the coffee table. It's like, just, if it's just a magazine, whatever. She's like, well, this is Mommy's magazine. It's not for everybody to see. I'm like, okay. So my mom just decided, she told me that it was private. And like, well, like, explained, my mom's like, well, this is part about, mom being a lesbian. And I'm like, oh, so even though I got busted for, trying to sneak a peek at the presents, and I busted my mom for, her stash of lesbian pornography, also kind of came to like a nice sort of catharsis. And when I found out that, I kind of learned a bit about what my mom was becoming and something about what it meant to be a lesbian. And at 10 years old, my revelation was that lesbians love to fish.